What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the league analysis of season 2 of the GPA. I am your analysis, Big Time Beans. Happy to have you here. If you are excited for another season for the GPA, make sure to follow along. This is unscripted. I don't know if you can tell. Apologies. This video is going to be coming out a week late. I understand that. I apologize for that. But what I have to say to that is we ball. So, just to give you an idea of how this is going to work, I'm going to give a brief rundown of what's going on in the league, if there's any transactions, if we have any teams switch, which spoilers, we'll talk about it next week. I'm going to go over what happened in the week that I'm covering. I will be talking about standings, current kill leaders, and then my own personal PRs, which when we get to it, I'm telling you right now, they're different from the rankings. So, with all that being said, let's get into our first battle. Week 1 saw the matchup between two colossal coaches in X Phantom and his West Palm Lugias and Chaos 6 and the Detroit Red Winkles. Two incredible coaches who are both mods. The story for this battle really was this Rotom Heat, who was able to keep in check things like the Gouging Fire and the Mega Clefable. There were some amazing plays on Chaos 6's side, but because of the great pivoting and defensive play with that Rotom Heat and X Phantom, Mega Medicham was able to come in and clean up the game. 3-0 X Phantom. Next up, we have Coach Clockwork and the Kansas City Torrents versus Coach Thread and the Chipotle Choodles. This was the first time we got to see some of the Legend ZA Mega Pokemon at work, and let me tell you, Mega Electros looked dangerous in this match. Despite having a phenomenal Sun team, the pivoting and offensive pressure that thing was able to put on Clock's team really made it difficult for Clock to get anything going. Not to mention the amazing defensive work between mons such as Pheasantipity and that Glamora to Toxic and wear everything down made it incredibly easy for Spectre to come in late game, click agility, and end up winning this one. 4-0 Thread. Next, we had Coach Mouse and the Small Town Slowpokes versus Coach Wastecaw and the Golden Glaceons. Coach Wastecaw started this game strong by knocking out the Gliscor with a triple axle from his Ambipom. Something I had critiqued Coach Mouse for during the pre-draft process was the overabundance of bulk, but it did not seem to matter in this match. Wastecaw struggled to take down the combination of Corviknight and Slowking. The real story of this match was how bulky Poltergeist has the ability to be. Not only living a dual wing beat from Megastar Raptor, but also at -1, living a Hyper Voice from Sylveon. From that point, Wastecaw could do nothing to break the bulk core. Rillaboom came in and cleaned up. 2-0 Mouse. The next battle was Coach Kryptonite and the Phoenix Suncurtains versus Coach Mate and the Goodnight Cresselias. This was an absolute barn burner, but the most pivotal play by far was the Slowbro clicking counter against Zamazenta, which led Coach Kryptonite with not a ton of answers for the combination of Celesteela and Mega Deontay. There was amazing prep on both coaches' parts, including Nasty Plot Delphox and Ironhead Tapu Koko, but in the end, the win would go to Coach Mate 1-0. Next up, Coach RDG Dom and the Ferocious Fraligators versus Coach Nuckfur and the Hex Pult something. One of these coaches is no longer in the league. I will say that. And folks, I'm not gonna leave this one up to suspense. We got our first 6-0. We got our first 6-0 of the league. Somehow it came down to Moltres and Dragalge being absolute demons. Coach RDG Dom did an amazing job pivoting with his Calm Mind Screamtail and ensuring that the late game King Gambit would not be a problem. 6-0 RDG Dom. Next, we have one of the most anticipated matches of week 1, Dino Trooper and the Apple Clan versus Vayne and Muddy Water in My Cup. A turn 1 misplay from Dino Trooper had him losing his Dragapult to Mega Glade, but from there it was an absolute back and forth slugfest. Special attacking Palafin made quick work of Quagsire, Seismitoad was used effectively to check Tapu Fini, Mega Raichu came in late and looked incredibly threatening, but in the end Choice Scarf Chi was just too strong for Dino Trooper. The battle ended 3-0 for Muddy Water in My Cup and Coach Vayne. Finally, we have Coach Lacorda in the Greenwood Gold Appleton Juice versus Coach Scal in the Orange County Oshawots. Despite being what looked to be a very defensively minded strategy from Coach Scal, this was an entirely quick game. Really amazing tech on Scal's part to bring non-scarfed Ditto to check for that Hisuian Zoroark, but in the end, it was Hisui and Sorark that would end up cleaning up Scal's team. The battle would end 3-0, Coach Laporta. As of week 1, here are your standings, and here are your kill leaders. Nothing entirely shocking here, other than the work that Enamorous put in. I didn't really mention it, but Enamorous was a big part to X Phantom's win, and some slight underdogs on the board, such as Moltres, Poltegeist, and Ambipom. As mentioned before, the Coach Nukfer and the Colorado Hexpults will be replaced as of next week, and we will go into what that looks like next week. But from here, it's time to go on to the part that I'm most excited about, weekly PRs. Weekly PRs are based off of the preseason PRs and the week 1 rankings. It is not scientific. It is completely objective. Coaches, you can disagree with me on how you feel I have ranked these teams. Specifically, we have, starting at 14, we have Colorado Hexpults. You get 6-0'd. There was some pretty obvious misplays, I felt, but I suspect that this will change soon. In 13th, we have Coach Scal and the Orange County Oshawots. Again, it will look to be a really defensive strategy that he ran, and it just didn't pay off. But there was really amazing tech. I'm looking forward to see what happens in week 2. The Golden Glaceons and Wayscott coming in at number 12. Yeah, you got out defense and you have a guard chomp. Happens. Coming in 11th, all the way from first place, Coach Chaos in the Detroit Red Wingles. This one hurt. This one hurt a little bit. But that being said, I have no doubt that he will bounce back. But I was totally wrong about this. Likewise, I was wrong about Coach Dino Trooper and the Apple Clan, at least in week 1. We'll see how week 2 goes. Again, I really liked Coach Dino Trooper. I thought he brought a really unique team. I thought he had some really good answers to some of his bulky stuff. The biggest thing landing on here is his play against the Blissey. It was maybe not the best. Coming in 9th, all the way from last, we have Coach Mouse. 2-0 victory. Proved me wrong. Defense can still win games in this offensive-heavy format. But, you know, gotta account for the fact that that Poltegeist living on like 1 health was insane. Coming in 8th was Coach Lacorda and the Greenwood Gold Appleton Juice. We got to get you a logo, man. But I think you got, or not lucky is the wrong word, but I think your strategy happened to match up really, really well into the essentially lead sacrifice Aerodactyl Roar strategy. Plus that Hisuian Azor work just did work. Coming in at 7th, despite having a worse record than some teams below him, we have Coach King Kryptonate and the Phoenix Suncurrents. I felt like this 1-0 loss was one of the closest ones we're going to see in a minute, and I felt like he played very, very well, including... I felt like Coach Kryptonate played very, very well into a very, very good team UCIF mate, ranked at number 4. I'm not going to hold a 1-0 against him. Coming in at 6, we have the team that 6-0'd another coach, RDG Dom. Now listen, you're not here. I'm not a hater. Not a hater. However, like you had great prep. That you had Clear Amulet, Scizor, which just walled that thing. However, there was not a lot of answers to Moltres of all mons. So I'm accounting for that. Likewise, I am accounting for Clockwork losing to Thread. I thought Clockwork put up a great fight, and depending on what happens, his team can continue to fall. But seeing as he was one of the best teams in the league at the start, I'm willing to have a little bit more grace. Maybe these PRs aren't Perfect. But you know what? They're mine. Gosh darn it. Coming in at number 4, we have Goodnight Cresselia and Coach Mate. As I mentioned before, it was an absolute barn burner with King Kryptonate. I think one thing goes different, and that's King Kryptonate's game. Either way, phenomenal week 1 battle. Coming at number 3, we have Coach Vane in the Muddy Water in My Cup. I mean, yeah, you just continue to run circles. It was a great battle. Great job. Coming in at number 2, we have Coach Thread, who just, I mean, I really hold Clockwork's team in high regard, and there was, I mean, you showed us how good that eel could be. That's the other reason that Clockwork is still at 5, is because it was one misplay, but until then, it kind of looked like it was Clock's game. So we're willing to give a little bit of grace there. Number 1, though, we do have Coach X Phantom. It was just, I mean, the record doesn't the record isn't a 6-0 because he was playing Chaos, who I think has the best team in the league and is a great coach. I think if this is a different situation, if you're playing against even just like a different coach with the same team, I think you get the 6-0. You played around every single threat phenomenally. He played around every single, I'm not speaking right to him, but X Phantom played around every single threat exactly right, brought amazing, unique prep. That is the type of stuff that lands you at number 1 in the power rankings. With that, that is all the news that we have at the end of week 1. We will get into some updates on teams at the start of week 2. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, share amongst yourselves. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for joining. Peace.